What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And what's up, Vivo X Fold Army? Yep, that's what we're going with. That's what we're calling ourselves. Deal with it. I have to make this video before some of you make a purchase decision that you might regret. Let's explain why. So it's no secret that the Vivo X Fold and the Vivo X Fold Plus are by far my favourite ever foldable devices. And I believe due to the viewership and subscription of my channel over the past 6 to 12 months, you guys feel the same, and girls. But with the launch of the Vivo X Fold 2 tomorrow, so Friday, if the 28th of April, depending what day you're watching this, I think it's important to let you know a few key pieces of information that you should consider before purchasing the device. I'm going to save the biggest one till last because, you know, retention and all that good stuff. But first up, I really want to talk about coverage. As you're aware, this phone will not get a global release, so you're getting a Chinese ROM phone with limited language. So when I say coverage, I also mean languages here and I guess accessibility. I've had a few comments asking if it'll support particular languages. To the best of my knowledge, from my experience with numerous Chinese ROM phones, you'll get English, you'll get Mandarin Chinese, Spanish, sometimes French, sometimes Italian. Full stop. To the best of my knowledge. Now, are there apps or ways to sideload or get other languages? Probably yes. But out the box with Chinese ROM phones, they do not support Urdu, Arabic, other languages. So just bear that in mind. Now, sticking with coverage, your actual networks, 4G and 5G. While I'm lucky enough to live in a city like Edinburgh, Scotland, that has 5G coverage, I am supported. My network, Sky, which uses O2, and then others such as Vodafone and EE, all have 5G coverage with the Chinese ROM phones. I do know, however, through my subscribers and from some comments, that even in places such as the US, there is 5G issues when it comes to AT&T. I believe Verizon works absolutely fine and T-Mobile works absolutely fine, but I've heard of some issues when it comes to AT&T. So shout out to anybody that has a Vivo X Fold in the US. Please pop in the comments down below if you're on any network in any country that has issues with 5G, because this is a deciding factor when it comes to purchasing such an expensive device. Now moving on, and again this is quite a big one for me. If you have the Vivo X Fold or the Vivo X Fold Plus, unless you are rolling in money, please don't upgrade to the Vivo X Fold 2. I'll explain why in a second, but in some ways you're downgrading if you buy the X Fold 2. And again, I'll talk about that in a second. I'm saving my biggest one till last. The Vivo X Fold 2 is not a big enough generational leap compared to the Vivo X Fold 1 or particularly the X Fold Plus. Now in the Plus you've got the 8 Plus Gen 1 chip, and the X Fold 2 you've got the 8 Gen 2 chip. That's effectively the only difference when it comes to internals, processing, power. You just don't need it. Okay, so please don't do that. If, however, you have got the means, hit me up in the comments down below if you're looking to sell your current X Fold or X Fold Plus, because I can think of a few thousand viewers that would be interested to buy an X Fold or an X Fold Plus from yourself at a cheaper rate. So pop it in the comments down below if you are selling your device. Now the last one, and the main reason you should really think about your purchase when it comes to your next foldable device. The Vivo X Fold and the Vivo X Fold Plus separated themselves from the pack. That's why they're my favourite ever foldable phone. Okay? The reason they separate themselves from the pack is because the hardware. The premium build, the vegan leather back, and most importantly, the quad camera setup. The Vivo X Fold was the first, and until super recently, the only foldable device to have a 5x periscope zoom lens. Now that was essentially bringing your camera hardware from your major flagships like the S23 Ultras, the iPhone 14s, Pro Maxes, all those premium devices had something in common in that they had a really decent optical periscope zoom lens, and other foldable phones just didn't have that. The Samsung goes 2x, the Xiaomi goes 2x, the Honor goes 3.5x. The Vivo, the X Fold, was a 5x periscope zoom lens, and that to me meant that I could just use the Vivo without carrying any other devices, because I do like taking pictures and I do use the zoom lens quite a lot. Now with the Vivo taking that periscope zoom option away, they've essentially just aligned themselves to the competition. They don't stand head and shoulders above the rest. In fact, there's a better phone on the market now that folds, that has a periscope zoom lens of 5x optical, that has a similar, if not better, main camera lens. It's a Huawei Mate X3. Now, obviously there are issues when it comes to Google apps. Huawei don't play well with America, so don't play well with Google. But if you look at the phone's hardware, I'm going to say it now, Vivo fans, please don't hate me. Please don't unsubscribe. But the Huawei is the best foldable phone on the market just now. It just can't have Google Play Store apps, and it costs over $2,000, well over $2,000, because it's selling like hotcakes in China. So you can't get hold of it for the retail price. But out with the Huawei phone, you've now got the Honor, the Xiaomi Mix Fold 2 that I've reviewed. You've got the Samsung Z Fold 4. Now, yes, it has other hardware differences, particularly on the Samsung with the outer screen. But camera-wise, Samsung actually overtakes it because it's got a 3x telephoto zoom lens. I have bought the X Fold 2. I can't wait to have the X Fold 2 because my experience with Vivo foldable phones has been incredible. So I will reserve a lot of my judgment on the camera performance until I have it. But on paper, I'm struggling to see why they've taken that step back. I mean, even if they had included the telephoto zoom lens that's on the X90 Pro, which is 3.5x, those pictures look stunning, but they haven't. They've gone with a 2x telephoto. Again, we'll see what it's like when I get it in my hand. That's the biggest consideration for me because the Vivo X Fold 2 is not cheap. It's $1,800 for the 512GB version. That's £1,500. For £300 to £400 or $500 cheaper, you can get that Mix Fold 2, which is thinner, lighter, arguably, can't get that word out, looks better. I don't know, you tell me. Here it is, here's the video I reviewed. You tell me. So again, you've got other options to save yourself a bit of money. Ultimately, listen, the software on Chinese ROM phones are a pain at first. Once you do all the battery saving options and once you auto start the apps and download all the apps you need from the Google Play Store, they work just like normal flagship Western phones, kind of, but there's still a lot of work that has to be done. So when it comes to Vivo software with Ocean or Origin OS, when it comes to MIUI 14, they're all much the same. So the actual software skin on top of that Android 13, I wouldn't put too much weight behind that. It's the hardware that really gets you. When you're invested in a foldable phone, which some people believe is still a gimmick, I don't. But when you're investing that much money, you want the best from the hardware. And the Vivo X Fold 2 seems like it's taken a step backwards. So again, if you've got the X Fold 1 or the X Fold Plus, I would not recommend upgrading to the X Fold 2. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is not made to be a negative video on Vivo. On the contrary, I love Vivo, you know that. What this video is the whole purpose of my channel, and the reason you guys and girls are subscribing is because I'm honest. I don't get a cut from Vivo, and even if I did, I'd still be brutally honest. I'm going to tell you if you should, in my opinion, buy or not buy a device or product. And in this occasion, right now, I'm not seeing the advantages of spending an extra $300 or $400 on the X Fold 2 when you can buy the X Fold Plus. That's all I'm saying. So, with all that being said, in about 6 days' time, I will have the X Fold 2 in my hands and I will show you the unboxing and give you my first impressions. So if you haven't already and you're sick and tired of seeing these Chinese review videos or unboxings to some random rave music, subscribe to my channel and you'll see a UK review with non-random rave music. Until then,